During our visit to Chiang Mai, we decided to hire a private driver for the 3-hour trip north to Chiang Rai. When we first arrived, I was afraid that this stop was nothing more than a tourist trap. While there were plenty of stores selling overpriced souvenirs, this stop to the hot springs was more than meets the eye. This water is hot enough to boil eggs, and that's just what they do. The women in the area use these little wicker baskets. They place them inside the boiling hot springs using these sticks, and then once the eggs are boiled, they sell them to the tourists to eat with soy sauce. Water flows from the main source through the entire property. Although we did not have time to actually enjoy the full benefits of the hot springs, we did have a few minutes to stick our feet in this lovely warm water. After leaving the hot springs, we headed on our way to our first temple. We were not prepared for what we were about to see. Wat Rong Khun is probably the most famous tourist attraction in Chiang Rai. Also known as the White Temple, it is truly a breathtaking and unbelievable sight. As you can see from the number of tourists present snapping their Instagram shots, it is definitely a sight to behold. Not wanting to be left out, Norma decided to get in on the action. Once you make your way past the crowd, you will find a narrow walkway which leads you to the bridge of the cycle of rebirth. The bridge itself is the only way to reach the temple. It stretches over a pond and hundreds of hands reaching up from the pit below. While the bridge symbolizes the way to happiness, the hands represent desire. After crossing the bridge, you arrive at the gate of heaven. There's no filming inside the temple. Once you exit the temple, you are able to make your way across the grounds, which are expansive. During this time, you can find a little peace and quiet and time away from the crowds. However, this is often short-lived. The building that you see in front of me is a crematorium. Although it has not been used at the time that we were there for actual cremations, they do hold memorial services in the building adjacent to it. But as you can see, it becomes a perfect place for an Instagram selfie or pretending to do a yoga pose. Although it is considered a temple, It is not a temple in the traditional sense. Wat Rong Khun is more of an art installation. It is a sight to behold. I can't even begin to describe everything that we saw and the beauty that exists. You just have to see it for yourself. After lunch, we made our way to the Blue Temple. Much like the White Temple, the Blue Temple is not a traditional Buddhist temple. However, it is a sight to behold as well. I'll be honest with you, this was a really long day. After leaving the Blue Temple, we drove for a while to a red temple and another temple whose name I do not remember. It became a really long day. It was excruciatingly hot. We had been up for a long time, and I will admit that this was more than we bargained for. In the future, I would suggest either minimizing the number of temples you visit in Chiang Rai or actually staying overnight in the city so that you actually have time to explore and respect the temples in a way that they deserve.